Most people spend their lives chasing money, status, and security, things that can vanish overnight. But the Buddha identified one thing no one can ever take from you. Not a possession you hold, but one that holds you. If you've ever wondered why some choices seem to follow you long after you've forgotten making them, you're already asking the right question. What you're about to hear won't just explain karma. It will change how you see every small decision you make today. About 2,500 years ago, on the outskirts of a city in northern India, there was a vast forest where deer grazed quietly in the shade. It was late summer, near dusk. Soft orange light filtered through the trees. A warm breeze moved through the grass, still carrying the last heat of the day, and somewhere in the distance, a bird called out once and fell silent. In a clearing within that forest, 5 men sat together. They looked weary from travel, yet their eyes were fixed on some distant point, as if they were waiting for something. And then, along the path that wound through the trees, a figure appeared, walking slowly, without hurry, the way a man walks when he has nowhere left to arrive. The 5 men watched him come closer, and one of them recognized the face and looked away. They had left this man before, certain he had failed. Those 5 men had once walked alongside the Buddha as fellow seekers. He had been born into royalty. He had left behind wealth, comfort, and his own family, all of it, in search of truth. For years he pushed his body to its limits, fasting, sitting in painful stillness, denying himself everything, and yet no matter how much he suffered, the answers didn't come. That was when he understood, punishing the body was not the path. The 5 men had watched that moment, when he accepted a bowl of food, when he bathed in the river. They felt something collapse inside them. They believed he had given up. Disappointed, they left him and made their way to this quiet forest. Then one evening, a lone figure approached through the trees. It was him. After his awakening, he had walked straight here to find these 5. At first, the men turned away, but something in the way he moved, the quality of stillness that surrounded him, was unlike anything they had seen before. Without quite meaning to, they rose to their feet, offered him a place to sit, and brought him water. He sat down and spoke quietly. "I have awakened. Let me share what I have found." The 5 men listened. He began by describing 2 extremes, living in the grip of every craving, or punishing the body into submission. Neither, he said, leads to truth. There is a middle way, he told them, steadying the mind, thinking clearly, acting with care, living with intention. That is the path out of suffering. The men leaned forward without realizing it. His words had a certainty that went beyond argument. He continued, "Suffering has a cause, and the cause can be removed." Night settled slowly over the forest. A fire burned low between them. No one spoke. They simply listened. This was the moment later known as the first turning of the wheel of Dharma, the night the Buddha first shared his teaching with the world. Those 5 men, who had walked away in disappointment, became his first disciples before the fire burned to ash. Sometimes the people who witness our lowest moments are exactly the ones meant to receive what we finally find. At the heart of everything the Buddha taught that night was a word, karma. You've probably heard it, sometimes used lightly. "Oh, that's bad karma," as if it were some kind of cosmic scorekeeping, but the real meaning is quieter than that, and more personal. Karma simply means action, what you do, what you say, what you hold in your heart. And what Buddhism teaches is this: every action carries a result, not as punishment, not as reward handed down from above, simply as consequence, the way a seed given soil and time becomes something. This was the core of what the Buddha said that night. Suffering has a cause. It doesn't fall on us randomly the way rain falls. It grows from somewhere. And very often that somewhere is found in our own actions. But please hear this carefully. That is not a reason to blame yourself. It is actually the opposite. It means you have power. It means you are not simply at the mercy of whatever life throws at you. What karma asks us to look at is not the past and not the distant future. It asks us to look at right now, this moment, this choice, this word you're about to say. You cannot rewrite what has already happened, but you can decide how you move through today. And that decision, quiet, small, easily overlooked, is shaping the person you will be tomorrow. Think of it like planting a garden. The seeds you choose determine what grows, Rough hands that tear and trample the soil will find nothing taking root. But patient attention, water at the right time, care given even when nothing is visible yet. Eventually something breaks through the surface. You may not see it happening, but something is always happening, just beneath what the eye can reach. And karma is never only yours alone. The way you speak to someone changes the rest of their day. The rest of their day changes the way they come home to the people they love. That ripple moves outward in ways none of us can fully trace. The Buddha sitting with those 5 men that night was himself an act of karma. Teaching was the action. The opening of 5 hearts was the result. The first teaching was not just about karma, it was karma unfolding in real time. So what does this actually look like in a life like yours? Let's say your manager criticized you unfairly today. The frustration is real. The sense of injustice is real. In that moment, it's entirely natural to think, this is their fault. And maybe it is. But karma asks a different question. Not whose fault is this, but what do I do next? Do you fire back in anger and watch the same situation appear again next week, wearing a slightly different face? Do you swallow it silently until it turns to something bitter inside you? Or do you take a breath and ask yourself, how could I have handled this differently? Is there something I can actually change? That quiet pause, that small turn toward your own agency is where karma lives. In relationships, the same truth shows up. When we feel stuck with someone, convinced they will never change, we sometimes stop noticing that we too have stopped moving. We push and pull, trying to reshape the other person. It rarely works, but when we shift something small in how we speak, how we listen, how we enter the room, the dynamic shifts with us. Not always, not immediately, but often enough to matter. With children, the weight of this is felt most deeply. Every word a parent speaks falls into a child's inner world like a seed into soft earth. I don't think you can do this, and I believe in you. Give it a try. Grow into very different people. You may say something without thinking and not see its shape for years. Knowing this doesn't mean living in fear of every word. It means learning to speak with a little more intention. And in the body too. The way we treated ourselves in younger years eventually finds its way to the surface, not as punishment, but as consequence. When that happens, the question karma asks is not why me, but what can I do, starting today? One more thing, and this matters. Karma is not a threat. The phrase cause and effect can sound cold, even ominous, but that is not what the Buddha meant. What he meant was this: your actions have real weight, real reach. You are not powerless. You are not simply waiting for things to happen to you. Tonight, before you fall asleep, you might ask yourself quietly, what did I plant today? What words did I leave with someone? What did I bring to the moments I moved through? Those are the seeds already in the ground. There is just one thing I want to leave you with. The 5 men sitting in that forest were ready to close their ears to him. They had already decided he was someone who had failed. And yet, they stayed. Something in the quality of his presence, the weight of his words, reached them anyway. We are not so different from them. On the days when you feel like you've done it wrong, when you've said something you wish you hadn't, or left something unsaid that mattered, it does not end there. Today's seeds and tomorrow's seeds do not have to be the same. Karma is not a verdict, it is an invitation. It says, you were here today, you made choices, and tomorrow you will be here again, and you will make choices again. That is where your freedom lives. 2,500 years ago, in a quiet forest, a man sat down with 5 people who had given up on him, and he spoke the truth anyway. That single act changed the lives of those 5 men, and through them, it has reached all the way to this moment, to you, listening now. Thank you for being here today. Please be gentle with yourself. Whatever you carry out of this room, doubt, hope, a restless mind, a tender heart, carry it gently. The deer must have moved quietly through those trees at Sarnath, indifferent to what was beginning among the humans seated on the ground.